You're ambitious. Even though you know deep down, you don't care. You're going to do what you want to do anyway, right? You're going to make your moves anyway, but you're hard and heavy on yourself. Okay? No one can be a worse critic to a number one than a number one.
Straight to a penthouse, Miami Beach. Yo, talk crazy on tweets. They don't want it cause I come to defeat. They don't want it. I peek, these niggas all sweet. Bamboo sticks all in the Jeep. It's a new weirdo every week. Get the work, put it up for my seeds. No care for the IG, just no care. Anything for clout. Do anything for clout. Do anything for clout.
What's good, YouTube? So in this episode, again, we're going to be talking about life path 1, right? I know there's a lot of people probably giving numerology advice, but again, we're starting off here just talking about the basics, right? And what we're going to do with that basic understanding is when we get to the end of all these life paths, we're going to tie all this in to some other techniques that you can use to understand who you're dealing with, but most importantly, knowing who you are. And that's the most important one. So we're starting off with life path. You know it. Number 1. Numero uno, right? Life path number 1 is just like kind of what it is, right? Those people that have a life path number 1, they typically have a tendency to be self-starters, make things happen. Some examples of a life path number 1 is going to be Chris Brown, Erykah Badu, and you already know this next one, Doja Cat, right? And I'll tell you a little bit about these folks, but just use how you get your life path number. Let's walk through that really quick. So how do we get Doja Cat, Chris Brown, and Erykah Badu's life path number? Let's use Doja Cat, for example. Doja Cat is born October 21st, 1995. Okay? So to get her life path, what you're going to do is take these numbers and bring them all to a single digit in sections of 3. Okay? So what that means is you're going to take 1995. I always start off with the hardest addition, right? 1995, break that down. That comes out to the number 24. Okay? Now, since you haven't reached a single digit just yet, you're going to bring that down even more. That 24 is now going to turn into a 6. Okay? Now, bring the 6 down, section that off. Now we're going to move over to the day, which is her birth date of the 21st. Bringing that down to 1 digit, you already know that one's a 3. And then you have October, right? 1 and 0. Add those two together, that comes out to 1. So what you should have right now is a 1, 3, and a 6, okay? Total that out, that brings you to the number 10. Total that out, 1 plus 0 equals 1, okay? And so I wanted to mention these people on purpose because when you think of Doja Cat, you think of Chris Brown, you think of Erykah Badu. Some of these expressions of a self-starter and the expressions of a 1 come out in those folks. One of the alphabetical letters that align with the number 1 in the beginning is the letter A. If you look at the way the letter A stands, it stands like a boss. It stands like it's in charge, right? When you think of Doja Cat, Chris Brown, and Erykah Badu, one thing that every single one of them have in common is that no one's going to control them, right? They don't like to be controlled, right? When they have something that they're looking to achieve, they want to just go at it, right? They don't want your approval. They're not waiting on your approval. They're not waiting on your feedback. They're not looking for none of that, right? Life path number 1s are self-starters. They get things going, right? Now, the negative tendency of some life paths are you start a project, but you might not finish it. But the reason why life path 1 may not finish a project is because just like it is, life path 1s is self-starters, right? They're out in front. And when you're out in front, you can sometimes be a little self-critical on yourself. And you start trying to figure out, am I doing this right? Or things of, am I really the person that should be doing this? Even though deep down, you're ambitious. Even though deep down, you don't care. You're going to do what you want to do anyway, right? You're going to make your moves anyway, but you're hard and heavy on yourself. Okay? No one can be a worse critic to a number 1 than a number 1 themselves. No one can beat them up mentally but themselves. right? And so the number one thing for people that are life path number one, or even if you have the letter A as the first vowel that comes up in your name, that expression of that one comes up. Okay, we'll talk about that in the names later. But that expression of a one comes up. Those folks that can be a little more self-critical, right? So I would advise you that if you are a number one life path, just use your intuition. You know you are built to do things. You know you are built to make things happen. Just do it. And sometimes you're gonna be in the front of the pack. Sometimes you're gonna feel like you by yourself. Who cares? Do your thing, keep on moving, right? Because one tendency that happens with a life path number one, if they start a project or if they start a thing and things are not moving, they can be very destructive to those around them, right? And what I mean by that is they'll be bossy to those around them. They'll be demanding to those around them. They'll be, they'll try to make sure that they control the movements of those around them, right? Because they gotta lead. They gotta lead in some way. So that sometimes leadership can be destructive, right? But with these folks, when you see these folks, they're actually utilizing their one life path in the best way that they know how, right? Not slowing down, not waiting on anyone. They're making things happen, right? Erykah Badu with her music and her businesses, right? Erykah Badu literally made a music video before I even seen anybody else doing this. Made a music video walking down the street, taking off all her clothes. She ain't thinking about nobody else. She ain't thinking about you at all, right? She might care about you. Not saying that she's so self-centered that she don't think about any other person. But Erykah Badu got a message, and guess what? Erykah Badu gonna make that message known, whether you like it or not, right? And the same thing with Doja Cat. How my demons look, right? How my demons look, right? That song alone messes a whole lot of people's mind, messes with a lot of people's cognitive dissonance. Even the music video, right? Her painted as a demon and things of that nature. People look at demons in the wrong way, and we'll talk about that in other videos, but they look at things in the wrong way because they haven't built their idea of what these things are for themselves. Even though the worst demons on the planet, the worst devils on the planet is you alone, is you, nobody else. The only reason why you wanna call it demons and devil, do this and do that, is because you don't want to take responsibility for your actions 9 times out of 10. But anyways, we won't go there, right? That's another video. What I'm saying is, if you're a life path one, be ambitious. Don't wait on nobody else. Don't look for nobody else's approval. Just make things happen, right? And show them how my demons look. Until next time, YouTube.
Straight to a penthouse, Miami Beach. Hey, yo, talk crazy on tweets. They don't want it cause I come to defeat. They don't want it. I peep, these niggas all sweet. Bamboo sticks all in the Jeep. It's a new weirdo every week. Get the whip, put it up for my seeds. No care for the IG, just no care.